The awakening spark, reclaiming the lost flame. Imagine, if you will, a sacred flame burning within you. Not just any fire, but the primordial spark of creation itself. The essence that ignited the stars, forged mountains, and breathed life into the first human breath. This flame is your vital energy, your life force, coiled at the base of your being like a sleeping dragon. Every time you squander it thoughtlessly, in fleeting pleasures, in endless scrolls through digital voids, in the grip of addiction's shadow, a piece of that flame flickers out. Every drop you waste is a spark of your destiny lost to the abyss. But what if I told you that this flame could be reclaimed? That by harnessing it, you could transform your body into a temple of unbreakable strength, your mind into a laser of unyielding focus, and your spirit into a gateway to the divine. This is the journey of semen retention. Not a path of denial, but of sacred alchemy. It is the art of turning base impulses into golden potential, of awakening the warrior, the sage, and the god within. In our modern world, where distractions swarm like locusts and emptiness echoes through crowded lives, this ancient wisdom calls to us louder than ever. Picture the young man hunched over his screen in the dead of night, eyes glazed from hours of pornographic haze, his vitality draining away pixel by pixel. He feels the void, the nagging ache of unfulfilled dreams, the fog of scattered thoughts, the weight of unspoken regrets. Or the ambitious professional, buried under stress's avalanche, chasing fleeting highs that leave him more depleted than before. These are not mere stories. They are the silent epidemics of our age. Porn addiction, chronic fatigue, relational disconnection. They are symptoms of a deeper imbalance, a squandering of the very energy that could propel us to greatness. Yet, from the mists of time, ancient traditions whisper solutions. In the Taoist scrolls of ancient China, this energy is called Jing, the foundational essence, the root of vitality, more precious than gold. The sages taught that Jing is not infinite. It must be conserved, cultivated, and transmuted into Qi, life force, and Shen, spirit. Lose it recklessly, and you age prematurely. Your body weakens, your mind dulls, but retain it, and you become a vessel of immortality, a harmonizer of yin and yang. Similarly, in the Ayurvedic texts of India, this force is ojas, the subtle energy of endurance, the glow of inner radiance that sustains the body through trials. Ojas is built through discipline, depleted by excess, and when preserved, it grants unbreakable immunity, mental clarity, and a magnetic aura that draws abundance. And in the tantric paths of esoteric yoga, sexual energy is the kundalini serpent, coiled at the spine's base, waiting to rise through the chakras in ecstatic union with the cosmos. These are not myths, they are blueprints for human potential, now echoed by modern science. Neuroscientists and endocrinologists are uncovering the biological truths behind these practices. Semen retention isn't about suppression. That's a misunderstanding that breeds frustration. It's about transformation, redirecting the body's most potent resource from outward dissipation to inward empowerment. Let's delve into the science, shall we? Your semen is a cocktail of biochemical wonders: zinc, calcium, magnesium, proteins, and hormones like testosterone, all concentrated in a form that took your body immense energy to produce. Each ejaculation depletes these reserves, triggering a cascade of hormonal shifts. Post-orgasm, prolactin surges, dopamine plummets, and the refractory period sets in, a biological cool-down that can last days, leaving you foggy, irritable, and less motivated. But retain that semen, and the magic unfolds. Studies from institutions like Harvard and the University of California show that abstaining from ejaculation for even a week boosts testosterone levels by up to 45%. Testosterone, the hormone of drive, muscle, and mental sharpness, floods your system, enhancing protein synthesis for stronger bones and muscles, sharpening cognitive function, and elevating mood. Imagine waking up with the energy of a lion, your focus razor-sharp, your workouts explosive. This isn't hype, it's physiology. The brain's reward pathways, often hijacked by porn's dopamine spikes, begin to recalibrate. Without the constant crashes, your prefrontal cortex, the seat of willpower and decision-making, strengthens. fMRI scans reveal increased activity in areas linked to self-control and emotional regulation, turning former addicts into masters of their impulses. Consider the story of Marcus, a fictional composite drawn from countless real lives. In his mid-20s, Marcus was a shadow of his potential. A talented artist trapped in a cycle of binge-watching, junk food, and compulsive masturbation. His days blurred into nights of regret, his creativity stifled by a perpetual brain fog. I felt like a ghost, he might say, haunting my own life. One fateful evening, scrolling through forums on self-improvement, he stumbled upon the concept of semen retention. Skeptical at first, he committed to a 30-day trial. By day 7, the changes were undeniable. Surges of energy that propelled him to the gym, ideas flowing like a river in spring thaw. His skin glowed, his voice deepened, his confidence bloomed. This is the biological alchemy at work. Your body, no longer expending resources on constant reproduction, reallocates them to repair, regenerate, and revitalize. Diving deeper, let's explore the hormonal symphony. Semen contains prostaglandins and other compounds that, when retained, support the endocrine system. Cortisol, the stress hormone, decreases, while growth hormone and DHEA, dehydroepiandrosterone, rise, promoting anti-aging effects. Athletes in peak training often practice retention instinctively, knowing it preserves their edge. A study in the Journal of Endocrinology found that men practicing abstinence showed elevated luteinizing hormone, which stimulates testosterone production, leading to better sleep, faster recovery, and heightened vitality. Even the immune system benefits. Zinc, a key component of semen, bolsters T-cell function when not depleted, warding off illnesses that plague the overworked modern man. But biology is just the foundation. As we ascend this journey, the psychological impacts reveal themselves like layers of an onion peeled under moonlight. Semen retention forges mental steel. In a world of instant gratification, where apps promise endless novelty but deliver hollow highs, retention teaches delayed gratification, the cornerstone of success. Willpower isn't a finite resource, it's a muscle, and retention is its ultimate gym. By resisting the urge, you rewire neural pathways, breaking the chains of addiction. Porn, that digital siren, loses its grip as your dopamine baseline stabilizes. No longer chasing peaks and valleys, your mind settles into a steady hum of clarity. Think of it as upgrading your operating system. The fog lifts, revealing a landscape of possibilities. Confidence surges not from arrogance, but from self-mastery. You walk taller, speak bolder, attract deeper connections. Relatable? Absolutely. In therapy sessions worldwide, men report the emptiness of hookup culture, the post-coital void that mirrors existential dread. Retention fills that void with purpose. It's the antidote to disconnection, fostering emotional intelligence. As Taoist masters knew, conserving Jing sharpens intuition, allowing you to navigate life's storms with poise. A metaphor, your mind is a vast ocean. Ejaculation stirs tempests, scattering thoughts like debris in a hurricane. Retention calms the waters, revealing the depths where true insight dwells. Ancient tantrics practiced mithuna, sacred union without emission, to transmute desire into ecstasy. Modern psychology aligns. Mindfulness-based therapies echo this, using breath and awareness to redirect urges. The result? Unshakable focus. Entrepreneurs on retention streaks report breakthrough ideas. Artists, floods of inspiration. It's as if the energy once lost outward now fuels the inner forge. Let's weave in a tale from antiquity to illustrate. In the Himalayan caves, a young yogi named Arjun sought enlightenment. Tempted by visions of sensual delights, he wavered. His guru whispered, "The seed is the sun. Waste it, and night falls eternal." Arjun embraced retention, channeling his energy through asanas and pranayama. His third eye stirred, visions cascaded, not of fleeting pleasures, but of cosmic truths. This mirrors our modern plight. The stressed executive, drowning in emails, finds solace in retention's calm. His anxiety wanes, replaced by a meditative presence that turns chaos into strategy. Psychologically, retention combats the emptiness epidemic. Social media's curated perfection breeds inadequacy. Porn's hyperstimulation desensitizes. Retention resets sensitivity, heightening joy in simple things. A sunrise, a meaningful conversation. Confidence blooms from authenticity, not performance. Studies in positive psychology show that self-controlled practices like this enhance life satisfaction, reducing depression by fostering agency. You're no longer a victim of impulses. You're the architect of your fate. As we edge toward the spiritual, feel the shift, from body to mind, now to soul. But first, practical tools to ground this ascent. Breathwork, the bridge between worlds. Try the Taoist microcosmic orbit. Sit tall, inhale deeply into your lower dantian, below the navel. Visualize energy circulating up your spine, down your front. This transmutes sexual urges into vital qi, or Ayurvedic Ujjayi breath. Constrict your throat for oceanic sounds, calming the nervous system, balancing ojas. Detox complements this. Modern toxins, processed foods, EMFs, blue light, deplete energy. Cleanse with whole foods. Nuts, greens, herbs like ashwagandha to boost testosterone. Hydrate, sweat through saunas or yoga to purge impurities. Meditation. Start with vipassana, observing sensations without reaction, turning urges into awareness. Tantric energy work. Contract your PC muscles, Kegels. Rhythmically, drawing energy upward like a serpent ascending. These tools aren't chores. They're rituals of devotion. Incorporate them daily. Morning breath work to ignite the day, evening meditation to seal the energy. Stories abound. The addict who, through breath and detox, reclaimed his life, his art, flourishing like never before. Yet the spiritual beckons. In Tantra, retention awakens Kundalini, the divine feminine energy rising to meet Shiva at the crown. Symptoms: tingles at the spine's base, waves of bliss, heightened intuition. Ayurveda's Ojas links to Sattva. Purity of mind, opening the third eye for clairvoyance. Taoists speak of the golden elixir, immortality through Jing conservation. Modern parallels. Quantum physics hints at energy fields. Biofeedback shows retention's aura expansion. This is human potential unlocked, from ordinary to divine. But we're just beginning. As part 1 fades, remember, this flame is yours to tend. In the next act, we delve deeper into the psychological forge and spiritual heights, forging the inner forge. The psychological and energetic transformation. You stand at the threshold of your own becoming. The spark you've chosen to preserve, that sacred flame of life we call semen, is no longer just a physical force. It is the raw material of your inner forge, where the molten chaos of desire is hammered into the steel of purpose. This is the heart of semen retention, not a mere act of restraint, but a deliberate forging of the self. In this second chapter of our journey, we dive into the psychological crucible, where clarity, willpower, and unshakable confidence are born. We'll explore the energetic currents that pulse beneath, connecting body to mind, mind to spirit. This is where you reclaim your mind from the chains of modern distraction and awaken the latent powers within. Picture a man named Leo, a composite of countless souls navigating today's fractured world. At 30, Leo is a tech worker, his days a blur of Zoom calls, caffeine, and social media dopamine hits. Nights bleed into compulsive porn binges, leaving him drained, his ambition dulled, his relationships shallow. He feels like a ship adrift, sails torn, no compass to guide him. Sound familiar? This is the modern malaise. A mind scattered by overstimulation, a heart heavy with unvoiced yearning. Yet, when Leo stumbles upon semen retention, a spark ignites. By day 14 of his practice, he notices a shift. His thoughts sharpen, his anxiety softens, his presence commands attention. This is no accident. It's the psychological alchemy of retention at work. Let's unravel this transformation. Semen retention is a masterclass in rewiring the mind. Modern neuroscience backs what ancient sages intuited. Our brains are plastic, moldable by habit. Pornography, with its endless novelty, hijacks the brain's reward system, flooding it with dopamine spikes that mimic cocaine's rush. Each click, each release, reinforces a cycle of craving and crash. The prefrontal cortex, your inner CEO, responsible for planning, impulse control, and focus, weakens under this assault. Studies from the Max Planck Institute show that chronic porn use shrinks gray matter in this region, dulling decision-making and emotional resilience. Retention reverses this. By abstaining, you break the dopamine roller coaster. Your brain's reward pathways stabilize, and dopamine receptors, once desensitized, begin to heal. A 2016 study in behavioral sciences found that men practicing abstinence for 3 weeks showed increased activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, linked to self-control and emotional regulation. This is the forge heating up. Every urge resisted is a hammer strike, shaping your willpower. You're not just saying no to release, you're saying yes to mastery. The psychological benefits cascade. Confidence blooms, not from external validation, but from inner sovereignty. When you master your impulses, you trust yourself. This self-trust radiates outward. Leo, our tech worker, notices women holding his gaze longer, colleagues respecting his input more. His voice carries weight, his posture exudes authority. This aligns with research from the Journal of Sexual Research, which links abstinence to higher self-esteem and assertiveness. You're no longer a slave to fleeting urges. You're the king of your domain. But it's not just about resisting temptation. It's about redirecting energy. Here, the ancient practices shine. Taoist masters taught that sexual energy, when retained, becomes qi, the dynamic force of life. Through practices like the microcosmic orbit, you circulate this energy, transforming raw desire into mental clarity. Visualize it, a river of light rising from your sacrum, spiraling up your spine, bathing your brain in vitality. Tantric yogis called this prana, channeling it through breath and intention to awaken higher consciousness. Modern biofeedback supports this. Controlled breathing lowers cortisol, boosts alpha brainwaves, and enhances focus. Try it now. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Feel the calm settle, the mind sharpen. Let's weave in a story from the ancient world to ground this. In the courts of ancient India, a warrior named Vikram faced a trial of will. His kingdom was under siege, his mind clouded by lustful visions planted by a sorcerer. His guru, a master of Tantra, taught him to retain his seed, to breathe deeply into his root chakra, and to visualize his energy as a golden arrow piercing the heavens. Vikram's resolve hardened. His strategies grew cunning. The enemy fell not to his sword alone, but to his unshakable focus. This mirrors Leo's journey. By channeling his urges through breathwork and meditation, he transforms distraction into determination, landing a promotion he once thought impossible. The psychological shift isn't just about focus, it's about reclaiming meaning. Our world bombards us with noise, notifications, deadlines, curated Instagram lives that breed comparison. Retention quiets this storm. It fosters mindfulness, a state where you observe urges without being consumed by them. The Buddhist practice of vipassana aligns here. Sit with sensations. Let them pass like clouds. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that mindfulness practices increase gray matter density in the prefrontal cortex, mirroring retention's effects. You become the observer, not the reactor, navigating life with a calm that others envy. This calm breeds creativity. Artists on retention streaks report vivid dreams, bursts of inspiration. The energy once lost in fleeting pleasure now fuels imagination. Consider the Renaissance painters or romantic poets, many of whom embraced celibacy during creative peaks. Modern anecdotes echo this. A musician friend of Leo's, after 30 days of retention, writes an album that feels channeled from the universe. This isn't mysticism, it's biology meeting psychology. Retained semen boosts neurotransmitters like serotonin and oxytocin, stabilizing mood and sparking ideation. Energetically, retention amplifies your presence. Ayurvedic texts describe ohas as a magnetic glow, a subtle aura that draws others in. People sense it. Your eyes brighter, your words weightier. A 2018 study in psychoneuroendocrinology found that abstinence increases oxytocin sensitivity, enhancing empathy and social bonding. You connect deeply, authentically. Relationships, once strained by porn's unrealistic lens, heal as you see others as souls, not objects. Practical tools anchor this transformation. Start with Kegel exercises. Contract your pelvic floor muscles. Imagine stopping urine mid-flow for 10 sets of 10 daily. This strengthens the root, grounding sexual energy. Add pranayama. Alternate nostril breathing balances the nervous system, channeling energy upward. Diet matters. Favor sattvic foods, nuts, fruits, whole grains, to nurture ojas. Avoid tamasic traps like alcohol or processed junk that dull the mind. Journaling sharpens self-awareness. Each night, write 3 urges you faced and how you redirected them. This builds the habit of reflection, turning challenges into triumphs. A modern example. Sarah, a yoga instructor, shares retention principles with her male students. 1. A recovering addict finds that combining Kegels with meditation replaces his cravings with purpose. By month 2, he's running marathons, his life a testament to energy transmutation. These tools aren't esoteric. They're accessible, grounded, transformative. Yet, the energetic shift hints at something deeper. The spiritual dimension beckons. Retention begins to awaken subtle currents. You might feel tingles at your spine's base, warmth in your solar plexus, early signs of kundalini stirring. Tantric texts describe this as the serpent rising, unlocking chakras. Modern bioenergetics aligns. Retention enhances vagus nerve tone, linking gut, heart, and brain in a harmonious circuit. You're not just focused, you're attuned, sensing life's pulse. Challenges arise here. Urges intensify around days 7-14 as testosterone peaks. The mind, craving old habits, conjures vivid temptations. This is the forge's hottest moment. Lean into it. Cold showers douse the fire, redirecting energy. Transmute through action. Paint, write, lift weights. The energy demands an outlet, so give it a noble one. Ancient warriors channeled this into battle. You channel it into creation. As we close part 2, the forge glows red hot. Your mind, once scattered, is a blade sharpened by discipline. Your energy, once squandered, is a river guided by intention. In part 3, we ascend to the spiritual summit, where retention becomes a sacred path to divine awakening, ascending the sacred spiral, the spiritual awakening. You have stoked the flame within. You have forged your mind in the crucible of discipline. Now you stand at the precipice of the sacred, the spiritual summit where semen retention transcends body and mind, becoming a key to unlock your divine potential. This is not the end of the journey, but its truest beginning. Here, in the third act, we ascend the spiral of awakening. Your sexual energy, once squandered in fleeting moments, is now a sacred elixir, a current of life force that connects you to the cosmos. This is the path of mastery, where the ordinary man becomes a conduit for the divine, where every choice aligns with the eternal. Welcome to the awakening of your soul. In this modern age, where the sacred is drowned by noise, we hunger for meaning. The young dreamer, lost in the haze of digital distraction, feels it, a yearning for something greater, a whisper of destiny. The overworked parent, battling exhaustion, senses it, a longing for connection beyond the mundane. Semen retention, rooted in ancient wisdom, answers this call. It is not about renouncing pleasure, but about elevating it to a sacred act. The Taoists called this the cultivation of Shen, the spirit born from the conservation of Jing. In Ayurveda, it is the blossoming of Sattva, purity of being that radiates divine light. In Tantra, it is the dance of Kundalini, the serpent energy rising to unite with the infinite. Let's ground this in a story. Imagine Priya, a modern seeker, her life a treadmill of deadlines and shallow connections. At 35, she feels unmoored, her spirit dimmed by years of chasing external validation. Her partner, Arjun, discovers semen retention through a meditation retreat. He shares its principles not as dogma, but as a path to reclaim their shared vitality. Together, they practice, he through retention, she through conscious energy work. By month 3, they report a profound shift. Vivid dreams, intuitive insights, a sense of being plugged into the universe. This is the spiritual promise of retention. Not isolation, but connection, not suppression, but transcendence. The spiritual dimension begins where biology and psychology converge. Semen retention, by preserving Jing or Ojas, creates a surplus of energy that seeks higher expression. Tantric texts describe this as Kundalini awakening, a coiled energy at the spine's base, stirring as you master your impulses. You might feel it. Warmth in your lower back, tingles along your spine, sudden waves of bliss. These are not fantasies. They are bioenergetic signals. Modern science, while cautious, offers clues. Retention enhances vagal tone, harmonizing the nervous system, which mystics might call aligning the chakras. A 2021 study in neuroscience. Letters found that meditative practices, paired with abstinence, increase alpha and theta, brainwaves linked to intuition and spiritual experiences. This awakening manifests uniquely. For some, it's a sharpened third eye, a clarity of insight that pierces life's illusions. You might notice synchronicities, chance meetings that feel fated, ideas that arrive like lightning. For others, it's a heart opening, a flood of compassion, a sense of oneness with others. In Taoist alchemy, this is the golden elixir, where conserved Jing transforms into Shen, illuminating the mind like a lantern in the dark. Ayurvedic sages spoke of ojas as the bridge to Brahman, the universal consciousness. These traditions converge on a truth. Retention aligns you with your higher self. Consider a historical parallel. In ancient Egypt, priests of Amun practiced celibacy during sacred rituals, believing it amplified their connection to the divine. Their visions, recorded on papyrus, spoke of light within guiding their prophecies. Modern practitioners echo this. A coder named Sam, after 60 days of retention, describes meditative sessions where he feels dissolved into the universe, his coding solutions emerging as if channeled. This is the spiritual edge, not dogma, but direct experience. Yet, this path demands practice. Let's explore the tools to ascend this spiral. Start with tantric meditation. Sit in lotus or cross-legged, spine straight. Close your eyes, breathe deeply into your root chakra, base of spine. Visualize a red lotus blooming, its energy rising as a golden serpent to your crown. Hold this for 10 minutes daily, feeling the current flow. Add mantra chanting. The sound Om vibrates the pineal gland, linked to the third eye. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience found chanting increases cerebral blood flow, enhancing spiritual awareness. Breathwork deepens this. Try Kapalabhati, skull-shining breath. Rapid exhalations through the nose, pumping the diaphragm for 30 cycles. This ignites Kundalini, clearing energetic blockages. Pair it with mudras. The Yoni Mudra, hands forming a triangle over the pelvis, grounds sexual energy, redirecting it upward. Diet supports this. Favor sattvic foods, ghee, almonds, dates, to nurture ojas. Avoid stimulants like caffeine that scatter energy. Sleep aligns with lunar cycles. Rest deeply during the new moon to amplify intuition. Community matters. Ancient yogis practiced in sanghas, spiritual groups. Find or form a circle of like-minded seekers, sharing insights without judgment. Online forums, while useful, lack the energy of real connection. A modern example, a men's group in Seattle, practicing retention and meditation, reports collective breakthroughs, members launching businesses, healing traumas, forging deeper bonds. This mirrors tantric Mithuna rituals, where couples channel sexual energy without emission, creating a shared spiritual current. Challenges arise on this path. The ego resists, conjuring doubts or temptations. Society mocks. Why deny yourself? It sneers. But retention is not denial. It's devotion. When urges surge, transmute them. Dance, paint, pray. Cold showers cool the fire. Journaling reveals its source. A 2022 study in Journal of Positive Psychology found that spiritual practices like these reduce impulsivity, fostering resilience. You're not fighting desire, you're redirecting it to the divine. The spiritual fruits are profound. Retention aligns you with purpose. You might feel called to serve, teaching, creating, healing. The Sahasrara, crown chakra, opens, connecting you to universal wisdom. Mystics describe this as seeing the unseen, not hallucinations, but a felt sense of life's interconnectedness. Modern physics nods. Quantum entanglement suggests we're all linked, retention amplifying your sensitivity to this web. A final story. In ancient Tibet, a monk named Tenzin practiced retention for decades, his aura said to glow like a second sun. Villagers sought his counsel, feeling peace in his presence. Today, a software engineer named Raj, after a year of retention, volunteers at a shelter, his empathy a beacon. I feel like I'm living my purpose, he says. This is the call. Retention as sacred mastery, a path to embody your highest self. As we close this journey, hear this. You are not a drop in the ocean, but the ocean in a drop. Your preserved energy is a spark of the divine, a seed of creation. Semen retention is not about withholding, it's about becoming. A warrior of focus, a sage of clarity, a vessel of the eternal. Step forward, tend your flame, and let it illuminate the world.